Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Railroads Online with me, Carburetor. Today we are going to be playing with James. I want to call him the red engine, but he really isn't. He's the black engine, and running another load up to the coal mine. Now, this is the exact same train that we ran up with Thomas, except hopefully we get to keep our caboose. That's definitely one thing that I really want to keep the caboose on there just because, but I will tell you this, for some reason, just adding that train to the front makes us feel like such more of a train. Instead of just Thomas up there, having this actual train at the front makes it just seem a whole lot more complete. But anyway, let's take off towards the coal mine and let's see how James handles it. Now, I have made a few test runs up there, but this is the very first full train that I'm running up to the coal mine. I had to play with James a little bit. I mean, come on, I had to play with him a little bit. You see that rocking? That Henry does the same thing except like 4 times as bad. It is like really bad. But anyway, so I've been, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I swear, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Oh, that was almost really bad. Who left that switch like that? So I've been going around and redoing a lot of my rails and sort of just trying to fix them up a little bit. So I redid the trestle up here, which you guys will be able to see on our way back. And I also redid some of the sections going up to the coal mine. So I brickworked the area where it hits 3% so that I know where it is. It kind of makes it obvious where it is. And I also tried smoothing out the curves a little bit more to make it flow a little bit easier. It really doesn't matter that much, but it does make it flow a lot easier. So now we're trucking or training or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I'll touch base with you guys at the top of the hill. I should have been a little bit more specific. By the top of the hill, I meant over here, right where we transition to the trestle. Now, while James is trucking up, I just wanted to show you guys some stats. So if we head over, you can see that the Class 48, our Thomas locomotive, has 9,300 foot-pounds of tractive effort, but weighs 33,000 pounds. Let's go look at the Cooke. I believe they call this a Cooke Mogul. I think that has to do, yeah. So it has almost 11,872 foot-pounds of tractive effort, but look at the weight. Almost twice the weight of Thomas. So if you guys have seen the little race where Thomas and James have, that probably says a lot about why Thomas was able to do so much better in that race, because Thomas is half the weight and has only, what, about 3/4 the horsepower, so he just has a better, or the 3/4 the torque, so he just has a better power to weight ratio. So I might have to redo that race with them actually pulling something to signify the power that James has. But anyway, I think this is the heaviest train I've ever pulled up this segment. Let's hope that James can actually do it. It looks like he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. But man, does he still slow down. Holy cow. Well, with the rails at the front there, we should be able to get the weight off the hill a little bit faster. So I think we're home clear right now. Yep, there we are. There it breaks free of the force of gravity. I really hope I one day be able to get multiple people playing on this server, because that's going to be fun. That is really going to be fun. So I've been going through here and trying to straighten out or to smooth out the track, so you can see this is one long turn here, whereas before it had like a straight segment, a turn, and a straight segment. Now it goes into a long sweeping turn, into a long sweeping turn. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I will say I think it looks a lot better. So, and I did find out that if you press V inside the while driving the train, you can manage to zoom out a little bit like that. I swear I've been playing this game forever. I don't know why I didn't know that. You always find out new things. It makes it seem a lot slower though when you're zoomed this far out. Like when you're zoomed really close in, you feel like you're really moving almost. You kind of feel the speed of it, but when you're zoomed all the way out, I mean, it's kind of like watching those police chases from the helicopter, and you look down and like, man, they look like they're going kind of slow. No, they're going pretty fast. It's just that it's just the angle of attack that you're watching it from. I could have smoothed this out a little bit more, but I really didn't want to lose following the river like this, even though they would have never followed the river like this, but, you know, boy can dream. So I will say this. I think James is quickly becoming my new favorite loco. He is really becoming my new favorite. He's got the power. He's got a little bit better power than Thomas. He still has handling. He can get around the turns and whatnot. And look at that wood. So that was one thing that I actually started running into with Thomas when I was running this load a lot, is I would have to swing through the freight depot just to pick up firewood because I'd be running out. So with this much firewood, I'm not going to be running out. So here we are at the stone segment. So I believe it has 2% grade going in, 2% grade going out, and then it's 3% all in the middle. So right here we're on 2%, and then after it crests this hill, I believe it goes to 3%. This is if my memory serves me right. My memory is not exactly the greatest. But it definitely tells me where the hill is, and with one smooth segment like this, there's no more of the switching from like 2.5 to 3.5 to 2.5 to 3.5. I know that as long as I'm on this, it should be 3% grade. So the track originally went right here. I sort of tried smoothing it out a little bit, and it did kind of push me away from the river a little bit, but I think it's still doable, and I really like it. I still really like it. So you see how it kind of smoothed out there, or kind of went down there. So we're on the, I think we're on 2.5 right here, and then it goes to 2% right here. Let's see if you can kind of see the crown as it goes over. You kind of saw how how James kind of dipped down a little bit, so I think we're on the 2% here now. James, of course, handling it no problem. And one thing that I'm really noticing is just the detail of these locos. They did a really good job of detailing these locos. Just, it feels so real, and I get it. I get that it's supposed to be like that, but it just... I used to have a whole bunch of the HO trains as a kid, and they were toys. They were just toys. They did not have the feel of real locomotives that these do. But I did notice, so like on a lot of them, these would connect to the tender for like the hoses and whatnot. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Cooke 260 doesn't have that. They might need to update the tender a little bit on that. You can kind of see like where the pipe work is underneath here. It just isn't connected. So I wonder if they just neglected to do that. But anyway, let's head up top to the iron mine and watch James come, or to the coal mine and watch James come up, because that is pretty cool. If we rush over to the edge right quick. Oh, there he is. There he is. Is that a rendering bug? It looks like James separated from the tender. Is that just a rendering bug, or did that actually happen? I kind of want to thin out the trees a little bit more so you can see a little bit better, but then it kind of loses the ambiance. Oh, that is so cool. Here he comes. Oh, that is... This is actually like watching a real like model train go up the tracks. That is so cool. I legit cannot wait until I get people on here and I can have somebody like actually driving that and like blowing the whistle and whatnot. I think that'd be so cool. Oh man, that is beautiful. And look, with the scenery just makes it all the more beautiful, all the more stunning. Let's flip this switch right quick because I need him to go to the left. See if we can't see him coming up a little bit more. We should see him right there on that little segment right there. There he is. I'm surprised the rendering distance on this also. Like, I know that if somebody was like a third party on here, they would not be able to see James. The fact that I get to see him all the way off in the distance, that is just so cool. I can't wait until I get a little bit better locomotives and maybe they improve the designs a little bit and I can actually have like really like huge trains coming up this. I think from this angle that would look just spectacular. And that's one thing also that I'm really noticing about James. So unlike Henry and Gordon, where I have to be very careful about driving them not to overspeed the train, I don't need to worry about that with James. James seems to, I can just throw the throttle and let James go. I don't need to worry about him overspeeding and coming off the rails. His tender keeps keeps not rendering. I wonder if that's just a little bug or what that is. There it goes again. I don't get it. It's just his tender that's doing it. Howdy, James. Step up here. That was a little jerky. He does seem to be going a little slower, though, so I hope he makes it up this. He made it up that other one, but I don't know. He's getting some speed back, so let's hope he can make it up this hill right here, because I know this hill is like 4.5%. Oh yeah, he made it no problem. Look at that. Oh, he did slow down though. I don't think he has the speed that Thomas does. I really don't think that. I think Thomas just has a little bit better speed, and being such a lighter loco, Thomas being a lighter loco that is, I think it just makes him handle a little bit better. But James seems to really do well, so I love that you can see him hunting on the track, so that is such a cool little detail. Seeing the tracks down below, that is absolutely gorgeous. Throwing the bell going into the station. Let's cut the rag. Slam on the brake a little bit. All right, let me get the coal loaded, and then I'll bring you guys back for unloading everything, because I'm going to try doing a slow roll as all the cars go by. I think that'll be really cool. Slam on the brakes there. Gotta back up just a little bit. Oh. There we go. Alright, so we're all loaded up with coal. Let's put James here on a slow crawl forward. Let's give him 4% should be enough. It's going to be a little while, though, until the beam cars are here. I love how you can actually see like a wear patch on the wheel where it rides on the rail. Or I guess that'd be the tire, that wouldn't be the wheel. 4% might be a little fast, but it seems like it's just fine. If everything goes as planned, I should have 43 rails by the end of this. I had one extra lumber up here from another time when I ran up here, So that should leave me with, I started off with 44 over there. That should leave me with 43 as I'm delivering 21. That's actually something that I kind of figured out, is that for every load I bring up here, technically I'm bringing up like 52.5 worth of coal worth of lumber up here. So that is kind of like a cool little, like, oh, if you didn't know about it feature, or you didn't think about it feature. Let's throw the brake on right here. So this brake on too. I've found that I only really need 2. James has pretty good brakes, which might be because he also has air brakes. So he's got a little bit more braking power than Thomas. All right, that was enough to actually stop it. I just want to go and I want to see how many rails are left over before we go back down the hill. All right, with that, all the beams are used up, and we are down to 43 rail. So I imagine what I'll probably end up doing if I run this for a very long time is I'll continue bringing up 7 cars of beams to fill up here and 1 car of rails, and then just one time out of every 10, bring up 2 cars of rails, or I guess one every like 11 or 12 because there'll be an offset of beams. But anyway, back up to 370 coal. That is, something's going on with my math there, because before I unloaded, I actually had like 260. When I loaded the coal, when I was done, I had 260. So I'm actually getting more than, I'm getting a lot of freaking coal. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm getting a lot of freaking coal. I might need to run some dedicated coal trains up here just for the kicks of it. That, or I might need to actually get a might need to finally get a gear train loco and run 10 cars of hoppers up here with the plank cars. That is kind of refreshing, that I don't need to have as, that I can really start getting resources out. When it was 1 to 1 to 1, this game was kind of grindy. I liked it. I still really liked this game, but it was a little grindy. Anyway, let's go back on down the hill. Before I do, I should probably save. Going on across the big old steel viaduct bridge here. That would be very terrifying in real life. Just saying, especially with how much James and some of these other trains tend to hunt. I'd be interested to see how the geared locos take it going down the track here. So it used to be, and this was before the spline update. I have not played with the geared locos on the new spline update, but it used to be on the before the spline update that you could just set the rag and go on those. You didn't even have to pay attention because there was so much resistance on the mechanism that you didn't have to worry about overspeeding the loco going down the tight curves. If you kept going down the steep grades, as long as it wasn't something ridiculous like 6%, you were fine. You would never overspeed that loco, which made it really nice for grinding out the iron mine, because you could literally just set the rag and go. You didn't have to sit there and nurse the brake. kind of amazing how it can seem so far up yet not at the same time. Like it is, that does not look like it's that far up, but it is. It's probably a solid 100-foot gain there, but just it doesn't feel like it. So you might see me playing with the brake and the regulator here, wondering why I have reg on if when I also have the brake on. Well, the higher the brake is, the less power is going to the regulator. And at the same time, the higher the reg is, the less power is going to the brake, if you want to think about it like that. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to balance it out using the power and the brake power at the same time and using the finesse of both to try and balance the locomotive. But here we are, we made it to the bottom of the hill and we didn't derail, which is really cool because I seem to have a lot of problems with that hill, especially right there at the end. But let's let's start heading back towards the sawmill and pick up another load of planks. No, we're going towards the smelter to pick up raw steel, and then up to the lumber camp to pick up planks, and then we can head to the oh, I don't even remember where it goes. I guess it'd be the Ironworks. Yeah, the Ironworks. It is so late at night. It is 12:30 in the morning, and it is, holy cow. So here we are back at the stone wall. Let's drop the rag a little bit. Let's kick the brake on, and I need to feed the fire right quick. The fire's gone out. That should be happy. She needs food. All right, let's kick the brake up just a little bit more. We're going a little fast. That's another thing that the regulator helps me be able to hear is how fast are we going. I can kind of tell by the chuffs how fast we're going. This is a lot easier to drive ever since I smoothed this out to the 3% grade, though. I think it would bounce between like 3.5% and 2.5%, and that made it difficult because you'd go from like needing like 50% brake to 30% brake to 55% brake to 20% brake, and it really screwed with you. Having an even grade going all the way down makes it a lot easier. Where they got all this rock to do this from, no idea. No idea where they got all this rock from. I hope they eventually let us start blowing through the mountains and make tunnels and whatnot. I am convinced that there is probably a hidden tunnel somewhere in this game. I don't know where, and I want to find it. Like, I have no idea where it is, and I want to find it. So it looks like we made it down the bridge, or down the stone wall just fine. Let's kick the brake off and let's try and pick up some speed here and try and get to the down to the smelter. And going down the hill. So I touched on how the having the brake on and the rag on at the same time, you can kind of balance out a little bit more. The same thing can be said about setting brakes in the rear of your train. So the more brakes you have back there, the more touchy your brake up front is going to be. The more touchy your local brake is going to be. The less you have back there, the less touchy it'll be. So if you're finding that you need just a little bit more control, go back there and set another car. If you're finding that it is too touchy though, where like 25% you're going just fine and 27% you're slamming on the brakes, maybe go back there and release one of your brakes. We are rocking a little bit there, so slow down a little bit. I don't want to derail. Probably kick the brake down just a little bit here. I will say this, I just remembered also that you can control the rag with your keyboard, so W and S really help to play with the regulator a little bit. I would recommend looking at that while you're playing it. Big yawn. Probably gonna go to bed after this. All right, and here we are pulling into the smelter. Let's give a quick little poop poop. I forget what the actual signal is for station stop, but that's basically what I'm simulating doing, or what I'm pretending to do. I'm not doing it right, but it's about having fun, nothing more. Come around the loop here. Go to the right side of the switch. Let's kill the with those brakes riding in back, I know as soon as I kill the rag, I'll pretty much stop, so. Alright. Touch the brake just a little bit. And right there should be good. I need to back up just a little bit. Let's go look at my alignment. Looks pretty good from here. Let's see if he loads. I wonder why I have an odd number of raw iron. I should have an even number. But anyway, we're loading. So let me get loaded up and I'll touch base with you guys after I'm finished loading. So it is a new day, a new year, and a new carburetor. I actually couldn't stay awake any longer. I had to go to bed. So it is the next day, and here we are heading back up the track. You can see I'm all loaded up with my raw steel. From here, you pretty much know the drill that I run over to the lumber mill, grab the sawmill, grab some planks, and I head over to the Ironworks and drop everything off. So I don't know if I've shown you guys this new layout yet, but I decided to kind of do something like this to try and get the trestle bridge to stay a little bit lower in the sky, to be less prominent on the horizon. I have to say it actually worked out pretty well. I need to do a little bit of trimming around it, apparently. Let's see if I can get this tree as I go by. This one too, just for the kicks. But, so this bridge is a little over 3%. It's halfway between 3 and 3.5%. You'd think it's 3 1/4, but I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is it's between 3 and 3.5. And then here, this is all 3.5 now. I was finding, so I forget what I ran down here. I think I ran an entire car of cordwood down here. And James was having problems getting up, and you can see he's kind of having problems getting up right now. He's slowing down. It's kind of odd that he would be able to handle the 4.5% where Thomas couldn't, and he's struggling here where Thomas didn't. I don't know if that's just because I had that at like 2.5% before, so Thomas didn't want to slow down. I tried bumping it down to 3.5%, trying to just make it easier for him, but apparently... Apparently I didn't knock it down enough. I think if I make that trestle bridge like a 3% instead of like 3 point whatever percent, it'll be a little bit easier for him, but because he won't lose as much speed going up that. Come on, James. You're so close to the top. Come on. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Come on. Oh, man, he's at a crawl. And he's so close to the summit. I think that's 2% right here. We're on 2%. Come on. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. No, 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 no. Oh, man. I think that bridge is what killed us. Anyway, let's head back on down the hill, and I think I'm going to try and rework the bridge a little bit. So just to answer the question that I kind of had before about how I didn't remember, if I shoot the trestle in front of me here, you can see that it's at 3.5% and 3%. So it's definitely a little bit more at 3% than 3.5%. So I am... Oh, crap. I'm going to make it at 3% steady and just see if that's enough. He seems to do well until he hits that 3.5%. So I think 3.5% is basically where his limit is. So if I can keep him at 3% for longer, that should be where it is. Let me plumb this. Let me plumb this in. Not really, but kind of. And we can try and make another run at her. I'm going to leave. I was going to say I was going to leave this bridge, but if I do, it'll derail that train. So I'll delete the bridge, but I'll probably keep this embankment here just to show where it was. All right, let's try this again. So you'll actually be able to see this a little bit here. You can see how I kind of go up and then I kind of go back down here. Now, I use this for two reasons. The first is to try and gain my speed back when trying to hit the incline here. Now, this is 2.5% right here into a 3% trestle. Let's try and trim this tree as I go past. I don't know if I got it or not. So this is all 3% now in here, and it should be 3.5% at the end. So let's see how well that works. I did go back through and watch the old episode. It's still in... Oh, shit. I did go back through and rewatch the episode that I just did. That might have just screwed me there because I slammed on the brakes. Or at least I took my foot off the gas. And the bridge was only like 2%, so I could hit it at like full speed. And then I could hit it at full speed, and speed kind of carried me up the hill. I can already tell this isn't going to work, so I'm going to have to back down it and try again. This sucks. So me being lazy, I just saved, or just started from a saved file because I really didn't want to back this train all the way down just to have to start all the way back up again. So call me lazy, but Gotta remember to trim that tree and delete the track. But anyway, as I was saying, so you'll see that it goes up and down. That's for two reasons. The first is to kind of gain speed before going up, but also as I'm coming down, it'll act as a natural brake at the end. So if I'm carrying a long train, it kind of gives the train a little segment where it'll slow down naturally so that I'm not hitting this segment at full speed again. It just kind of gives me that little thing where it's like, okay, here's an opportunity to gain control of your train again. Here we are going down the little roller coaster, gaining our speed back. Saw a little puff there. Delete that guy. Said he doesn't derail us. Let's see if 3% is enough. I might have to go to 2.5%. I'm kind of hoping I don't have to, but I might have to. We're hitting this at a decent clip here, so... And we are so close to the summit. I don't know what's going on with my tender there. I don't know why the trucks are kind of freaking out. And I think I know why it's throwing me so much of an issue. So right at the end here, it goes from 3.5 to probably like 4% as it crests the hill, and that's just because of the it trying to meet or it probably goes from 3.5 to 4% as it tries to meet the 2.5%. So it just kind of crests over a little bit. That might be something where I have to redo this a little bit so that it doesn't meet the 4. It doesn't go to 4%. It forces the 2.5 to kind of crown instead of the 3.5. But I think we're out of it now. Yeah, it looks like we're out of it. Come on, James, don't stop. Man, this bridge is kind of a tight squeeze also. It's not, I guess it's not that tight, but it always kind of gives me the worries that I'm gonna like rock over and hit it. Well, we're out of it, so let me get loaded up with planks, and then we can get on started over towards the Ironworks. So there we have the trains parked over there. I've been thinking actually that I actually want to do I want to start putting in locomotive sheds. Originally, I didn't really want to because I didn't really see it as being like that kind of cool. But I have an idea for the future, and if I want to do it for the future, I'm gonna need the locomotive sheds. So that might be something that I need to do, or at least investigate doing. But anyway, let me. We're now on to the long and straight sections. We're in the prairies here, so let me touch base with you guys as I'm pulling into the Ironworks. So here we are pulling into the Ironworks. I really like the way I have this set up, where each of the industries kind of branches off of the main drag, and then we just have a loop around each of the industries. Originally, when I tried doing this in my last world that I kind of gave up on, I don't know what happened, but I kind of just gave up on it. I think what they did is they changed all the where the resource allocations, and at the time I just sort of went, I don't like this, it's changed, and I just didn't like it, so I didn't want to play with it anymore. Typical autistic kid. But now that I'm back into it, I've very glad to say that I really like the way that it's turned out, and now that I kind of have it laid out, everything, I have the tracks going everywhere, I have everything going everywhere that I want it to, now I can kind of start playing with where I want everything to go. So that was one thing that I believe I said in a different episode. Put it the way that that they designed the tracks to go, and then you can play with how you want it to go. So one of the things I'm thinking about doing, hold on, I need to slam on the brakes here. Come on, James. There we go. I'm gonna set the rig to 4 going forwards. Now, one of the things that I want to do while I'm waiting for the next car to come up is I've already investigated over here, and there's a very nice pass over here. So I'm thinking from the coal mine, come up here, run along this ridge up here, come down, and believe it or not, I think I can keep it as low as 6%. I don't even think I need to hit 10%, which is going to be good because I'm going to be pulling loaded coal cars out of there. And then come down and probably run this ridge going down instead of trying to do like a horseshoe, just sort of continue around, and then I can run coal cars straight from the coal mine to the ironworks. I don't need to go the long way around, so that'd be really nice. And then after I do that, there's this one canyon up here to the smelter. I like calling that Grouse Canyon. And for those of you guys who are in the Boy Scouts, you might actually know what that is. That is a special little trail in Philmont, and it screams Grouse Canyon to me. It's just so similar. So you take that and you go up here into this little cut, and I can basically make a single track that goes all the way to the logging camp just to haul cordwood up. Now, I realize that it's probably a little silly because how much shorter could it be than just coming down here and doing this, but it's something I want to investigate doing. Play this game to have fun, right? Not that I'm having a whole lot of fun here as I'm clicking off loads as they go by. How much coal are we at? We're at 165. We should be at 175 after this. Let's go drop off the iron. And here comes the iron load off. Wow, we only have that much iron? Oh, how much planks do we have? Ooh, so I might end up having to run just cars of iron and not running any cars of planks. That's gonna be really interesting getting out of that gorge, considering James can barely do it already. Oh man. At least at this point I'm more just stocking up. I mean, the other side is already full, all the products are full, so at this point I'm just stocking up for future endeavors, if you want to call it that. At the wrap off a little bit more iron. Let's see, how much iron am I bringing up? Let's see, 6 times 3, so I'm bringing up 18 of the raw iron compared to only 12 of the planks. So maybe I don't need to, but I don't think I'm bringing up enough of the raw iron to offset how much lumber there is. But there's like no lumber storage. What's up with that? There's like no storage. As James just keeps crawling past. What are we at now? We're at $5,000. That's a good chunk of change. That should be enough to buy another loco. James is gaining a little bit of speed as we make him lighter. Hopefully the planks all land on the platform. Not that it really matters if I miss one, obviously, since I'm so heavily loaded on lumber. All right, looks like we got it all offloaded. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this very first endeavor with James. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button. Surprisingly, I've hit almost 400 subscribers. I'm really, really thankful for that. Anyway, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.